Hi, it's Charlie Zeiss with Stargate Pyramids and the Pyramid Science Foundation. Today's video is about finding universal Phi scaling in commercial jet aircraft. For those of you who are familiar with my work, I've been developing a model of the organizing principles of the universe, which is based upon a concept called universal Phi scaling. It's found in the Russian geometry pyramids that I make and sell to the public, but it's also in architecture and in contemporary technology everywhere. So the purpose of today's video is to demonstrate how omnipresent this angle is in all of our aircraft. Now, this video is going to focus solely on the commercial jet airliners that have come about since World War II and the invention of the Heikel jet airplane. And what we're going to find is that this specific angle, you can see I've changed my background so we can talk about this a little bit. The 27.309 degrees that you can see at the tail of the Lufthansa aircraft that I've got up as an example is essentially it is the apex geometry of the Russian pyramids that I make. And what we're going to find today is that that geometry shows up exclusively or extensively, I should say, in the rear of these aircraft, but it also shows up on the front of the aircraft as well. When you see it on the front of the aircraft, it's not going to be quite as precise as it is on the rear, and there's a lot of reasons, I'm sure, why that is the case. The reason why this geometry would be used is because it causes the least amount of turbulence. It'll increase speed, and I bet as well that it helps to increase the stability of the aircraft. However, you're not going to necessarily find it exclusively in the nose of these commercial airliners, as I'm sure that there are other constraints that they have to deal with in design of these aircraft over and above just the pure speed aspects of the geometry of the aircraft. Now, I'm going to be doing some separate videos where I'm going to be looking at both private aircraft as well as fighter jets and other aircraft that are predominantly concerned about speed. And there, in those future videos, you're going to see this exclusively in the front of the aircraft as well. So you'll just have to wait. I'm in the process. I found a good source of information so I can go and do research on that, and I'll be putting that out shortly. But what I wanted to do today is just to go through this as a list. I got it from Wikipedia of every commercial jet airline model that has been built ever on the planet. And you're going to find that this geometry is in each and every one of them. Now, we're going to be looking at three different views today. This side view that I have as an example on the front page, you're going to see that in every aircraft. As well, you're going to see a top view of the airplanes. Now, to get that, it was impossible for me to find photographs of these airplanes from the top. I couldn't find it for many of them, most of them, in fact. So what I've done is I've used blueprints that are out on the internet for each model of these aircraft, and I've shown this geometry both in the front and in the rear of the aircraft. As I mentioned, the front, it's going to be not quite as precise as it is in the rear, but again, that's due to other things that I'm sure have to go into the design of the aircraft other than just optimization of speed and fuel efficiency. So with that said, I'm going to open this up now, and we'll go through the first example with me talking you through it. And then from there on, I'm going to put some music on so you can enjoy the rest of the video for yourself. So let's open up now and we'll begin. So here we have our cover thumbnail for our YouTube video, Universal Phi Scaling in Commercial Jet Design. So we're just going to walk through the very first. These are done in alphabetical order and by number within each manufacturer. But I've shown in each case where the airplane is manufactured and the model number. But here you're going to see, for example, the Airbus 220, which I believe was the very first Airbus airplane that was produced by this consortium in Europe. And you're going to see that that's geometry in the back of the aircraft and the tail of the fuselage exists. And then you're going to see here, this is what I'm calling the top front view. These are all going to be blueprints on these top examples, but you'll see this geometry is here in the front of the airplane and again in the rear of the airplane as well. So we've got quite a few of these to go through. I'm not going to do any more voiceover at this point until the end of the video. So sit back and enjoy the music and see the ubiquity of this geometry in our commercial aircraft. So now that you've had an opportunity to look at all of the commercial aircraft that have ever been built on the planet, you can see that this unique geometry shows up in all of these aircraft. We're going to see in coming videos, as I mentioned before, I'm going to be doing some on fighter, military aircraft and private aircraft, where this geometric angle is going to be even more prominent than it is in the commercial aircraft. And that's due to the fact that those airplanes are designed more for speed and than for other purposes. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I hope that you'll come back and see the subsequent videos that I'm going to be doing on these other types of aircraft in the future. So I thank you for watching, and you have a great day.